Hi, I'm Scott Ellis and welcome to the Movie Club, where we hit the back roads of the cinematic Badlands to smuggle out the best films on offer. Joining me are freelance film reviewer Alice Tynan and Brittany Stovin-Bradford. And we're talking Lawless, Australian director John Hillcoat's brutal but beautiful story of a family of prohibition-era moonshiners who defy the law, gangsters and the odds to become heroes.
We got a chance to make a good stack of money here.
Pure corn whiskey, so white lightning. Seems you've been involved in certain illegal activities.
There's a new special deputy.
I'm the one who's going to make your life real difficult from now on if you don't toe the line, country boy.
This is at times literally a bloody gruesome film to watch, but it's also one of the most compelling human dramas with some of the best crafted characters in years. Alice, how does Hillcoat pull that off?
Amen. I think he pulls it off with like gat guns and gallons of moonshine.
Everybody's got moonshine.
Everyone's got moonshine and great casting, right? Like you've got Shia LaBeouf, how we even say LaBeouf, and
Beefcake.
Tom Hardy. And
More beefcake.
And the most perfect. I know John Hillcoat's worked with Guy Pearce before, but how like brilliantly, chillingly effete is he as
He's
this? Like,
just
so
like
scary.
this powdered little dandy, and you just think, oh, he's just going to be ineffectual, and he's just one of the scariest characters in a scary film.
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing that he does really well. He mashes in kind of the gangster thriller with the western that he loves from the proposition, and so you get these genre mashup, which just works beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. Guy Pearce with the middle part of the black slicked hair is just
I was
fierce.
watching. I was fascinated by that. It
Absolutely
looked like he shaved a line down the middle.
Country boy.
Don't you ever touch me again.
The bond of these brothers, you really do feel like it has so much more heart.
Yeah. Well, that's what I loved about it, the family dynamic of the three brothers who really have each other's backs, and you really feel that. And they're
Literally.
all so different. You've got LaBeouf, the pipsqueak, the youngest one, and he's sort of the narrator, but not really the main character
It's
either.
funny, he's the narrator, but it's a very generous film because everybody has their time in the spotlight.
That's true.
I mean, it's a family story because it was written by a member of the family originally.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that it's written by Matt Bondourant, who is the grandson of Jack, who plays Shia LaBeouf. So it's that family, you know, he's telling his family story a little bit, and then it's mixed in with this Franklin County,
The whole story
the whole
of them
prohibition,
pumping out the moonshine.
moonshine story, which is cool. So, I mean, it's not a real story. It's not completely true, but you know, he says
But that's
it's
what
fiction.
but that's what I love is that it takes you into the Depression and the Prohibition era America and Depression era America, but it does so in a way that makes you go, cool, I want to read more. I want to find out more about these guys.
Absolutely.
And okay, sure, there's artistic license, but I mean, if you're going to have Tom Hardy as, you know, he's just so
He's
good.
the hillbilly
he's so
Terminator. I mean, seriously, the guy grunts. He's violent beyond measure. He just sort of sits there and goes, and you can't tear your eyes away from him.
I was like, is he still playing the Bane character from
Yeah,
the Dark
that's
Knight
true.
Rises?
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, but then
Or
he
Bronson.
does it.
I mean, he's just
Yes.
he's a thug on. He's just amazingly violent.
But I love how they played it for
beautiful
humour.
to watch.
Well, Mr. Bondurant, do I get the job?
We should do a shout out to the girls as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they are
Jessica
great.
Chaston and
Yes.
Mia Wasikowska, Australia's Mia Wasikowska.
Yeah.
They probably don't get as much screen
Yeah,
time.
they're not as big. They're kind of the secondary, but it gives it. The road was Hillcoat's. It was just very bleak and heavy
my
and
gosh,
dense.
yeah.
So then this adding in the females kind of gave it a little bit more heart and a bit more of a soft touch, which I think it needed.
Well, Mia certainly
Needed
brings
a bit
a
of
side to
lightness.
Shia Boof, whatever.
We're not going to say it right. Whatever.
Shia's character that we just don't see otherwise. I mean, he comes across as the annoying little brother, and then he meets her, and something changes in him, and he realises that he has to live up to the standard that his brothers are setting.
I wish there was more Gary Oldman. He
Yes.
comes in, he gets
Yes.
this amazing hero shot. He rides in with like a Tommy gun and he like blows all these people away.
And it's this awesome
swinging a shovel
slow-mo,
around at one
this
stage.
slow-mo shot where he just looks at Shia and Shia's going, oh my God, you're my
And he-
idol.
I wanna
and
be
he's
you.
like a wink and you're just like, boom. But you know what? I wanted a little bit more from
He's
him.
like the little bits of chili in a meal. You're sort of eating it, you're enjoying it, and then all of a sudden you go, that's different. Whoa, I wanted more of that. It is a movie with heart, but it's also incredibly violent at
my
times.
goodness.
I mean, I looked across during the film, and you had your knees up around your chin, squirming in
I
your
was
seat, going, "La, la, la,
Squirming.
la."
I was, and I had to close the eyes, but also more than that, I had to block my ears
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the sound. It was
Whoever did the
so
sound, I don't know. I don't want to know what
incredible.
they used to get some of those effects because I'm fairly sure that somebody was hurt in the making of this film.
Yeah, absolutely. It is bloody violent. It
Yeah,
is
and you've
gruesome
got
violent,
the gangsters, so you've got the gangster shootouts, but you've also got the Western showdowns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's dark, tough, but still a gripping and moving film. Lawless breaks new ground for everyone involved and will be a definite Oscar contender in a handful of categories. Check it out, then head over to our Facebook page or find us on Twitter to let us know what you thought.